Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ahmed Hafez from Scholars Dental. We're going to answer question of the week number 1 that we posted. If you follow the steps and you answer correctly, we're going to select one random winner out of the people that answered correctly and followed the steps. And we're going to try to post these once a week to the best of our ability. These are questions that we're creating at Scholars Dental that are relevant to content that could come in AFK and in board exams. So let's get to answering this question. We already did it in the short video. Which of the following statements is most appropriate in selective grinding? And the answer is A. Grind the buccal cusp of upper teeth in working side interference. So if I draw that here, okay, and working side means the mandible moved to the certain side. So when the mandible moves, it'll look like this, right? Now I'm drawing it obviously too close, but this is how it could look like, right? So this shifted this way. This is the working side. This is the balancing side. So on the working side, which says here in option A, where could the interference happen? It could happen either between these two, so the buccal of upper and lower, or between these two, the lingual of the upper and lower on the working side. If the interference is between these two cusps, then I'm going to prefer to grind the buccal upper cusp. Why? Because it's the guiding, right? This one is supporting cusp. We try to avoid grinding the supporting or the working cusps. Okay, we prefer grinding the non-supporting or the guiding cusps. So that's why we do the buccal upper. So that's why the statement is most appropriate so far. Now, if the interference is between these two, then I don't want to grind the upper palatal cusp because that's a primary holding cusp, the supporting cusp. I would want to grind the lower lingual. And that's why we get this rule called bull rule on the working side. We prefer on the working side to grind the buccal upper and the lower lingual. On the balancing side, now that's option A. That's why option A is appropriate. So look at the other options. Grind the buccal cusp of upper teeth in balancing side interference. So on the balancing side, the buccal upper tooth cusp, this one, there's no interference on that because the mandible on the balancing side is going the other way, away from the buccal. So there's no interference on that. So it's not appropriate. Obviously, if there were interference, then we would grind that one. But on the balancing side, the interference happens between these two, right? Which are both supporting cusps, the upper palatal and the lower buccal. The interference doesn't happen with the upper buccal. That's why it's not the most appropriate answer. Then you have option C, grind the palatal cusp of upper teeth in centric occlusion. Now in centric, it would look like this, right? So this is centric. I'm going to just put a normal maximum intercuspation. If I'm looking from the front, all this drawing is from the front, okay? So in centric, if I do have interference here, right, then I'm not I don't find it most appropriate to say that my first immediate step is to grind the palatal cusp of the upper. Even if there's an interference between the upper palatal and the lower buccal, which are two supporting cusps, if there's interference between those two, I prefer grinding the lower buccal over the upper palatal. Okay, so the upper palatal is called a primary supporting cusp, and this is called a secondary supporting cusp. Okay, so you prioritize grinding the secondary supporting cusp first if you need to, if you have to choose between the upper palatal and the lower buccal. Okay, so again, it's not that you might end up needing to do the palatal, the upper palatal cusp sometime, but it's not like going to be my first option. Like this is the most appropriate. I'm going to try to avoid that, and if these two are interfering, I would rather go for maybe the fossa or for even the secondary, the lower buccal in case they both, for example, in the balancing side, if they both interfere, I'd rather trim the lower buccal. Okay, so that's why it's not the most appropriate. C, so we talked about C, grind the lingual cusp of upper teeth in protrusion interferences. We don't really, in protrusion, we don't talk usually about lingual. You might end up doing lingual cusp. It might be on a lingual cusp, but it's just not the most appropriate statement because when we talk about protrusion interference, if you're looking from the side, okay, and you're looking at protrusion interference, So if you look at this is anterior, this is posterior, and the mandible is moving forward, usually we talk about mesial and distal inclines. We don't refer to buccal lingual usually. We say, oh, do you grind the mesial or distal? I'm not going to go into more detail. It's a long, there's a lot more things I need to explain about it. It won't be enough time in this video. I'm just trying to answer the question. So we don't talk about, on protrusion interferences, we don't talk about lingual buccal. We talk about mesial distal inclines. Okay? That's pretty much it. That's why A is the most appropriate answer. If you don't understand all these terms, we do explain it in our basic science module in our course. We go through occlusion and discuss, there's a lot more details that need to be if you are not aware of them. But if you already know these terms and you found this question, this is the answer. I hope I was able to explain to you why the answer is A that we created. If you have anything you want to, if you think there's something that you think another answer is more appropriate, share with us. Let us know. And we'll be posting more questions in the following weeks as well. Again, if you find this all, this terminology is vague to you, there are more details that we explain in our course so that you know what all this means. You could book a consult with us and see what's the best plan for you if you're going through the AFK exam, the NDEB process, or even any dental board exams, even the IMBD, and you want to learn this stuff. We explain it in detail in our AFK course and our Foundations of Dentistry. So book your free consult as soon as you can so you could get a plan. And that's pretty much it. That's the answer for question of the week number 1. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.